Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron with Biblical Archaeology today. I am so grateful you're here with us. I'm very thankful to be your host. And I said that wrong. This is New Life of Albany. This is not Biblical Archaeology today. You can tell I've been doing a lot of things. So we're looking at why read the King James Version of the Bible. Please forgive me for that gaffe. And we're on sites.google.com, sites.google.com, kjvtoday.net. Great website. And so they mentioned this, and we'll just read it, make some comments around it. Conformity with Greek structure and style. So in the New Testament, the KJV often follows the Greek word order more closely than most translations. For example, Matthew 17:19 says, "Then came the disciples to Jesus." The syntax, which has the verb preceding the subject, may seem peculiar to contemporary English-speaking audiences, but the word order in the KJV follows the Greek word order, and then it gives the Greek word order. Mimicking the exact style and structure of the Greek can sometimes preserve what's emphasized in the Greek. Another feature common in the KJV is a historical present tense. The KJV often uses the present tense to describe past action, such as, "Then cometh Jesus from Galilee to Jordan unto John." This is Matthew 3:13. This is because the KJV faithfully translates the Greek, which is also in the present tense. I've had so many friends of mine that really don't know Hebrew and Greek. I studied it years ago. I really don't know it that well at all. Used to, a little bit. Used to go to church with my little Greek New Testament and read, But anyhow, they criticize the King James for how it reads, and I'm like, well, you're criticizing it, but is it faithfully transmitting what God's word says in Greek? That's the key. And if it is, then they're criticizing just God's word. All right. Greek writers use the historical present tense to add emphasis to important past actions. The historical present tense has the effect of making past narratives more vivid. Modern translations, unfortunately, tend to translate the historical present tense in the simple past tense. Now, you have to remember, the King James translators were being paid by the king to know Hebrew and Greek and cognate languages from, really, in many instances, the time they were children. One like Lancelot Andrews would know 21 languages, many of them dead languages. John Boyce would have known, he would have read the New Testament through in Hebrew, not Greek, Hebrew New Testament, by the time he was 5. By the time he was in 12, he was already studying Greek at college, 16 hours a day, under Andrew Downs, who was a teacher of Greek for over 40 years, because they felt like if they didn't have a perfect Bible, the Catholic Church would kill them. That was the battle line. So they were trying to come up with a perfect Bible. So Queen Elizabeth did the Regius professorships at Westminster, Oxford, and Cambridge for that purpose. And so they read all the Ionic Greek, all the Homeric Greek, all the Doric Greek, every type of Greek, all of the so-called church fathers, every extant scrap of Greek they could get. Same with Hebrew, same with cognate languages. Not all of them did all the cognate languages. Some specialized in either Hebrew or Greek. Some like Syriac and Arabic and all this. And so they knew exactly. See, that's one of the difficulties in teaching Greek today. That's the reason I like Dobson's book on Greek, not James Dobson, but another Dobson on Greek, is because the rules of Greek that we use would have been unknown to first century, like pluperfect and all. They would have known those words. They would have known those terminologies. So learning it the way they would have learned it, now you might say, well, they would have learned it immersive and how children learn languages, understand that. But there's other ways of learning the language as well that can be better than sometimes these laws, that sometimes you have to watch the laws because the laws were made by man and they may not have had a perfect understanding of Greek or Hebrew. And so then they would tend to say this is a Granville Sharp's rule, which I've got what Granville Sharp actually wrote. I've got a reproduction of like 1815 work where he's arguing for the deity of Jesus, and some people are trying to, split the Godhead and all of this over what he wrote. Dan Seagrave's got some great stuff on that. So anyhow, it's conformity with the Greek structure and style. This King James Version, they were trying to just make Hebrew and Greek transparent to English readers. They succeeded. God bless you. We love you. Talk with you later. Bye-bye.